talking about? Do you have life? You're crazy. But what I want to know is, do you have life? Do you remember when you were a child? You woke up and you had no cares at all in the world. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? You wake up, and what's on your agenda? You're not looking at the past, are you? Are you looking at the past?
No.
Did you remember when you were like 5 or 6 years old? Well, a week ago, this happened to my schedule, and I'm really furious. That didn't happen, did it? But do you look to the future at that age? And you say, oh my gosh, I'm so worried. What am I going to do about my schedule? I'm moving around because I do that, so you don't have to keep doing that. What am I going to do with my schedule? What am I going to do with this? I'm so worried about my relationships. At that age, you don't have a care in the world. You don't look past. You don't look forward. You live right there in the moment. As if you were a child at a birthday party playing. Who was it earlier? Did he leave? He said, I have to have that moment where I can be unplugged. That's the type of moment that I'm talking about with a child. Where can you go? Where can you be that you're unplugged? And it's that childlike faith. That childlike faith. How do we get that? How do we get back as an adult to that childlike faith? It's something we need in order to have life, but how do we get there? I'm sure we can't just go into some place and order. I'd like an order of faith, please.
I want to supersize it.
Supersize it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. But we don't do that. How is it that we get faith? Some of us are ingrained. We have it more than others because we just have that vulnerability. We're maybe more susceptible to just being open. But sometimes it's not that easy. A lot of people find that having faith, what is faith? What is it? How do I get it? And it's not something that you can just have. It's something that you have to have a habit of. And that's where the key is to having faith. And having faith is having life. It's a big part of it. So when I talk about having faith, it has to become a habit. How do I make it a habit? I'm going to give you 5 steps on how you can make faith a habit, which is going to increase your having life. First of all, you have to trust yourself. How many of you have a problem with trusting yourself? Today is a resource media, saturated with everything. So instead of trusting yourself, we're always grasping for this. What does this person say? What does this person say? What does this dogma say? What does this preacher say? What does this mom say? Blah, blah, blah. We're bringing it all in. And we've got information that's good, but when are you going to get to the point where you're going to start trusting yourself instead of being everybody else's follower and doing, do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Trust yourself. You have to decide what boundaries, what rules, what life you're going on in your life. So just trust yourself. And I have steps to do that, but I'm not going to talk to you about that right now because I don't have time. The next thing I want you to do is believe in the unbelievable. Wow, what does that mean? Well, we could put it on an astro level, believe it into the unbelievable, and we could talk about the stars and the moon and everything, but what about bringing it home? Believe in the unbelievable. I want to write 3 books in the next year. Am I crazy? No, believe in the unbelievable. What is your unbelievable in your life? And do you believe it? Or is it just words coming out of your mouth? Because if it's just words coming out of your mouth, and you're not actually internalizing it or having goals to meet those needs to get to your unbelievable, it's not going to happen. So you have to really believe in the unbelievable. You have to make steps, and in order to believe, you have to actually write down those goals. You have to get yourself many steps, many phases to getting to your unbelievable. And we all have unbelievables, and we have to believe that they're obtainable. And that's another step to get to faith. This is a big one. Another thing that we need to do to increase our faith is to find who is our God. Really, that's something that you need to do in order for you to be the most powerful human being you are, to find who your God is. I have been a holistic health practitioner for over 20 years, and one of the root spiritual problems to a lot of people are they don't have a spiritual root connection. What is your God? Who is your God? Define it. Write it out on paper. Who is my God? It's not my God. Your God's probably not going to be my God. So define who your God is. That's a huge key to being able to develop a very high level of faith in your life. Another thing that you want to do is you want to develop your own system of beliefs. Because I'm sure that my system is different from your system. And so what you want to do is you want to find out, well, I know I believe in love. I don't want to judge people. And I know that I want to do unto others as they would have them do unto me. But that might not be Stacy's system of beliefs. And why would I want her to adopt my system of beliefs when she needs to have her own so that she can be congruent with her life, with her spirituality? Because in order for her to be congruent and to have full, abundant a life for her, it's going to be different for me. It's not a cookie cutter. You just can't have that cookie cutter. So you have to just develop your own system of beliefs. And when you do all of those things, you can become one with your God. And that is going to build your faith, and it's going to help you get to that point where you can measure your faith. You can depend on your faith. I know without a shadow of a doubt that this next week is going to be an amazing week for me. I am not going to let anything put me down because I have that faith. I don't care what obstacles are going to come my way, because they're going to come my way. There's a lot of them that are going to come my way. But I've got a shield now because I've done those 5 things. I am not going to allow it to happen because I have faith. And I talk to my God, not your God, my God every day. And we communicate, we build a relationship, just like you and I can build a relationship. And it helps you to build that faith, which is one of the 8 attributes that I talk about having life. You guys get me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you here?
Very much.
Another thing that I want to talk about is more of a reflection inward, is honor you with your whole body. How many of you walk into a church or a temple or a synagogue and you feel this presence? You feel this something? You don't know what it is. Well, obviously you know what it is, but it's this feeling that you get, and it's reverent. It's reverent. What I'm talking about on having life is your body is also that temple, and you want that reverence inside your body. You want that. Why not? God created you. Can you imagine? I couldn't tell you all of the biochemical things that are going on in your body that are so phenomenal, because I'm not an MD or a neuroscientist. I'm sure you could tell me a lot of things. But your body is your temple. It stores so many things that are so phenomenal that help you get going. And you keep bombing it, and you keep bombing it, and your body is so intelligent. It keeps fighting and fighting and fighting. Your body's a temple. So we want to honor our body with our whole life. Well, how do you do that? When I think of honor, I think of merit. I think of soldiers out there fighting. I think of badges. I think of achievements. Those are the honor type things that we're all saturated with, and those are all wonderful because it is honorable, and those are honorable things. But I'm talking about an inward honor that we all forget about. It's an inward honor. And how do you do that? How do you honor your body? You take out your trash. That's simple. How many of you take out the trash every day because you don't want it piling up in your environment? Well, do you not think that we also have trash in our body? We have trash in our body. What kind of trash? A lot of trash. Give me a microscope and I'll show you. But I'm not talking about just on a cellular level, but we have to take out our trash in order to honor our body. And how do we do that? The first thing we need to do is we need to stop bombing our body with toxins. Are we going to completely eat like gurus and monks on this land and eat organically? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about checks and balances. I'm talking about how much are you bombing your body with toxins. We've got environmental toxins, we've got earthly toxins, we've got toxins that you're putting on your skin, we have toxins that you're eating in your food. So how much of that are you aware of? Be mindful of that. Learn what you're eating. If you are eating things that you can't pronounce on that label, I'm sorry, that's toxins. So you need to learn about those things because your body is honorable. Your life is honorable. And who's going to take care of it? Who's got that key to take care of that body? You do. It's only your key. Nobody else holds that key for you. So learn about not bombing your body with all kinds of toxins.